Greetings, everyone. My name is Magmatic Sage, along with React 7. We welcome you to another episode of the Wholesome Magmatic Podcast. Today, we're joined by Easy, voice artist and a well-spoken person. Welcome to the podcast. So, to start with, tell us a little background on the life of a voice artist and what inspired you to become a artist and stuff like that.
Hi everyone. Wait lang, give me a moment for a while. I'm sorry, my voice is cracking at this very right
No
time. So wait
problem.
lang.
We're just chill here. We're just
It's
chill
here.
here. No problem. No problem. Here.
Okay. Hi
There's
everyone, I'm
absolutely
Izzy. So, um, I guess I'll start first with how I got into the whole voice acting thing. The thing is, I'm just I still consider myself as a like how do I say it newbie. Bago pa lang ako dito. But then I started September last 2021. So I think a year or so. So um it was by I wasn't as interested in voice acting at all. Like because I considered myself having the voice of a guy. So mostly parang when I interact with people online, not even online when I was younger, I had this certain incident where someone called sa phone. Yung phone pa talaga na what do you call this? Like telephone. And then this person told me that I was a kuya daw ako. And then I said no, babae ako. And then he didn't believe me. Basically, so that's when my insecurity with my voice started. So when I
For
since
for the international viewers out there,
oh,
Kuya
I'm
means
sorry.
older
Yeah,
brother,
older
and
brother. Okay.
okay.
Yeah, my bad. Okay. So that's
Go ahead.
how I started. I was very insecure with my voice because I sounded like a guy. So I didn't like never in my wildest dreams that I'd become sort of a voice actor, as you can like say. So by luck, there was this YouTuber that I follow during the pandemic. He goes by the name Kong TV. He's a Filipino YouTuber. So anyway, the story is Kong was looking for a creative researcher, and he coursed that search through a certain app, an outside app. So since I was his fan, I thought to myself, since I belong to the creative, like in senior high and college, my line is basically in the creative industry. So I tried to audition through that app para so that I could become his creative researcher. But then obviously I'm not his creative researcher right now. So but then I stayed within that app, just roaming around because I'm not a fan of um online stuff. Discord, basically, Twitch. I'm foreign to that. I don't know that before. So in that app, that was like the first time I tried socializing online and meeting people online. So that's when I stayed during that night. And then by luck, a voice actor, like a legit voice actor, he's the voice of EO Executive Optical for one commercial recently. So we met in this so and so like matching thing. So basically it's a dating room in that app, which I didn't know that was a dating app. So we met there, and then since we kind of vibed, he told me that he was a voice actor, and if I was interested in visiting like the room with people with voice actors in it. So I went there, but yeah, and then they told me if I wanted to speak, just talk with them casually, and then one of them, like one of the mentors that they had there in that room, and the voice of Domex commercial in the Philippines. He told me that I had a nice voice, and if I wanted to try to join them, like their sort of support group. So, and I remember I asked them the question, "Do you want me in Tagalog? Gusto niyo po ba ako dyan?" Because like I wasn't sure, as I said earlier, I'm very insecure with my voice. So that's when I that's when it started. Like everything was just by incident or accident rather. So yeah. And like what do you mean what do you know? What do you want me to tell you about like the life so far? What do you want to know?
Well, oh, so let me clarify. Like, you worked with other voice actors, right?
Yeah, I did.
So, how's the environment or the dynamics working with other voice actors in general?
The prod.
How's your encounter? Yeah, how's your encounter with them?
My encounter with them. At first, when I was very unfamiliar with voice acting, it's this common what do you call this? It's this common, how do I say this, expression or impression that, oh my god, they're the voices in the commercial. So I'd be surprised and I wouldn't know how to react. Like the first time I saw this certain she goes by the name Voiceover Flowers. She's very famous on TikTok, and she's the voice of Lady's Choice, the mayonnaise brand here in the Philippines. So when I saw her, I remember I said out loud, ooh, she's a person. She's not mayonnaise. So she's not parang kind of, she's not like the mayonnaise thing. Because I really thought that, voices like that are generated in commercials are actually people. Like I thought they were sort of like
Yeah.
machines or something. Yeah. So, but yeah, everything is like, how do I say it? It's like cool, and you're at a point when you're like starstruck about every voice that you hear. But then at the end of the day, these people make you realize that um they're just people too. They're just, they're just the dynamics with them is the same dynamic that we have in a normal working situation or environment. It's just that, it's, I think it's fun. It's much more fun because like these are artists, and when it comes to art, most of the time, or hopefully most of the time, it's a fun time. So it's fun so far. It has been fun so far, and you get to learn a lot of things. There's like a lot of things that you thought you knew, but then every time you meet another person, a new person in the industry, it's like, oh, there's more. There's more that I should know, that I should learn as a voice actor. So yeah.
It's actually interesting, like passing the torch on their experiences in their craft and you learning more. So throughout the years or throughout the time that you spent voice acting, how did you
Mm-hmm.
train or how did you process and improving your voice acting in general? So
Mm.
I
what's
mean,
the
or let's
story
say,
behind
what
it?
are the challenges to, or of being a voice actor?
Oh yeah. Well, I think first, with the process, as I said earlier, I was picked out. In Tagalog, I always say that I'm napulot, or I'm just picked up like a garbage trash, picked up like
No,
at the street.
your
No, no,
your
no.
voice
That's
is
that.
actually
Yeah,
yeah.
but that's how I really thought to myself. Honestly, I'm not like people are saying now. You're like you're trying to humble yourself down. No, but that's how I always say it, because I'm always grateful for the chance. Because again, it's like one in a million. Like never in my wildest dreams that I'd get to do this. But anyway, regarding the challenges, I guess first, of course, was overcoming the fact that my voice, or I could use my voice for something. Because like again, I said earlier, my self-confidence and self-esteem wasn't that good, especially when it comes to my voice. And the process was, since these people who let me join their group are already knowledgeable enough for the industry, they they taught me, like we had this very very first Zoom. I had the very first Zoom meeting with them, and they asked me to speak in front of, I remember our PC was downstairs in our family living room, and I was there, and my mom was there behind me, and my brothers were there. They were like sitting, and they didn't know what I was doing. I was talking to a random bunch of people online, and then one of the first exercises that they made me do was to say the, what do you call this, the tagline of Colgate. So the number one brand recommended by dentists, that line. So they asked me to say that during that session while smiling. So along the way, it has been like that. I unlike other, because there are voice actors in the Philippines, there are certain academies or certain institutions that teach you like the A to C's of voice acting. So that's proper and formal training. There's the certification and all of that. But then again, like any, I think, most of the creative professions that we have here aren't really certified, or there's no real certification. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, exactly, right? So um I didn't have that formal training. My training with them was more of, if you want to know something, I ask them, they tell me how. Or if we see each other, it's like, oh, do you know how to do this thing? Let me teach you a proper way how to do it. So yeah, and then along the way, I just kind of went with the flow. Because I guess my background before like voice acting was theater. So I'm a theater kid. So
Oh, you're
yeah.
actually majoring in theater?
No. I don't major in it, but I've been doing that for I think I
Oh
started
my
high
god.
school until college. Yeah. So
Oh, that's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, that's how I think that was one of the advantages that I had. Even though I had no idea what voice acting was, but then since I had this background in acting, I sort of got to use that for my for my projects and all of that. And um challenges, I guess I'd just like to, if it's okay, to share this one. This the first time I got a client that wasn't through a connection. So it's basically me and my dog barking. No. What do you call it? It's basically me who booked that client myself. And I think I was second year college during that time. And I knew nothing. Like, even if I had mentors, I was very shy. Because in that group, I was the youngest one and I had no background at all. So I was very shy to just, say, how do I do this? How do I do that? So I just kind of navigated my own way through Facebook pages looking for VOs for voiceovers and voice talents. So there was this one time that I think that was the first time that I felt like quitting instantly, because I have this, but it didn't concern actually my voiceover skills. But basically there was this client who was looking for a voiceover, but then um that that uh not really the client, but the agent who was looking for that voiceover booked me. I submitted my voiceover file, so they were good. And then suddenly he asked me, since you're a multimedia student, since you're from the creative side, you must know how to edit videos. And I was very honest. I said no. I only know basic cuts because that's not my forte. But then he told me that, try. You can try. In my head, since you're a student, you're still in the academic like walls. When someone tells you to try, you try. And you like take that as an encouragement. So I did. Long story short, the client basically was looking for an advanced video editor. And the client didn't know that this agent was lowballing basically, here's the ratio. The project was let's say 50,000 pesos. The whole project, voice plus video, equals to 50,000 pesos. But then, since I'm a beginner and my agent knew that I was a beginner, he gave me the project for 10,000 voice and video. Imagine what, like,
Wait, what?
40,000. Yeah, exactly, right? So 40,000 goes to him. I mean, that's not the real ratio, okay? But yeah, just to give you like an idea. Basically,
Yeah, for
the
the
agent.
international viewers out there, imagine the person is paying for $1,000, and Izzy is only getting like 200 bucks,
Yeah,
and the
exactly.
fucking manager gets like the
Most of
rest
it.
like $800. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, that's when I got like the taste of reality when it comes to like being an artist, or at least like having those agency and stuff. I
Yeah,
cried. I bawled my eyes out. Like in my head, I was like, I'm never gonna get a client again. I'm never gonna make this. But yeah, that was the first time, and then Yeah, as a student you get taken. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. So yeah,
Like,
I
yeah,
think that was one
that's
of the
fucking
challenges. Yeah.
kind of that's kind of fucking yeah. Like, it's hard in the creative industry, like media or like creative arts or arts in general. Like having a middleman to manage the stuff that you create. Uh, Having a trustful middleman that's actually nice, that offers
Mm,
you what do you say, like opportunities and equal, like fair amount of pay to the
yeah.
work you've done. Kind of hard, not gonna lie, because
Yeah.
like your experience right now, it's people took advantage of you just because uh your experience is low. And
New.
bro,
Yeah.
it's fucking scummy,
That's
bro.
the thing that I am very thankful for with the people that found me or picked me up, because like they are not greedy when it comes to opportunity. So they ask me, they tell me, they include me. They always oh, there's this certain game that's looking for a voice actor, you should try. Or they basically they include me. So a very, I think when it comes to the voice industry, not just in the voice industry but any creative industry, I guess it's
Mhm.
very important that you have like a good support system that's actually,
Exactly.
it's actually like inside the same industry that you're in, because they too know what's going on. It's like it's different when your support system is just a friend of yours, maybe working in the medical field, and that person is, you can do it, you're gonna bounce back and so on. I mean, that's good too, that's good to have. But then someone who knows, someone who will tell you that, hey, that client is probably lowballing you, or probably that's a scam, probably that's not a good project for you, or you should try this, you should try that, you don't sound nice, that doesn't fit you. Honest people who work in that in the industry, who are also nice people, I think that's very important. So yeah.
Exactly. So have you encountered any like scams or scammy clients in general, or like bad clients throughout
Mm,
your work
I guess
experience?
not really scam. I haven't been scammed, fortunately, and I hope not.
That's
But
good.
there was this certain time that I felt like it was just in my gut, and my other voiceover friends, they were talking amongst themselves too, that there was this certain time that people were looking for voiceovers in Facebook groups, but then they all had one script, like not one script, I mean the way they post things. For example, me, I'm a client looking for a voiceover, and then Kaiser is also a client. We use the same format that's very incomplete. It doesn't tell you, what the script is, what the project is all about, what's the rate, what's the probable way of sending you the sample, so on. So there were a lot of those. But then, since the posts look kind of okay, a lot of us went around sending our samples to them. And then I realized that later on that maybe that, these people are just collecting voices, which was very, because voices are very, how do I say it? It's powerful and at the same time very important, especially now that AI voices are, coming out. So
Yeah,
it's
actually,
very, yeah. That's why I thought to myself, what if those people were actually just fishing for voices to use for, AI stuff and
yeah,
whatnot, yeah. And then what else? Oh, there was this thing too. See, I think this might sound like an advice, but maybe if you're an artist, try your best to watermark or like sort of put something on your output, because some people when they say, you know, they have you audition. So in the voice industry, they're, oh, call for auditions, and then later on they'll send you the script. And when you read the script, of course you're auditioning, you want to do the best and you want to, like, perform the script properly. The problem is the script is a page long, a chapter long, and you're gonna start to think, why are they, if it's an audition, it should be like very short. So when you send in those reels, those outputs, you must, you have to put watermark so that it's sure that, they don't take advantage of what you're giving them. So yeah.
that's true. That's true. It's so easy right now, like people taking advantage of the like copyright system and stuff like that. It's kind of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
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 Let's just go back a little bit and to AI per se. Do you think that AI would be able to replicate coherent human speech patterns? And if
Mm,
so, how does that
affect
where do voice actors stand on that?
stand. Ah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a very hot issue. But um, Korean rice farmer. If you're really Korean, then 안녕하세요. But the person said, how do you put a watermark on voice recordings? Basically, you just put the let's say you record a song, right? So instead of just putting out the song, you record a separate piece of your voice saying that, for example, this is Easy's property, and then you just put that all over the track, so that when you hear, like, this is the perfect example of that is our YouTube videos that um there's this certain recording you'll hear in the middle that this is on copyright, something like that. So yeah, you just put that certain track. So yeah, yeah, you basically try to ruin parts of the track just so they can't use the whole track itself. But yeah, going back to the AI thing, I don't represent everyone, I guess, for the voice industry, but people I know were very against it. It's true. I think, with how things are turning out, AI can, and it can, although not 100% yet, but it can mimic this the same way, voice actors are basically how people speak and how people put out their emotions. So it's there is I just don't want to, put things in, very weird situations, but there is already one project that is ongoing, uh a voice AI, or an AI rather, where voices are collected, and then if there's a client will just select the voice, and then the AI machine or whatever will just create will just select the voice and then read the client script using that voice, that type of, structure, voice, whatever. But yeah, and that's the scary part. That's the reason why many the voice actors that I know are very against it, because they could replace they could replace us, honestly, maybe not now, but in the future. And if things go that way, then people in the voice industry will lose what they've worked hard on, because it's gonna be very easy, because everything is already online. Projects that were made digitally, commercials, advertisements online. Just imagine if those are replaced with AI voices. So people will lose their jobs, and that includes me and my friends, So yeah, it's so far, out of all the voice actors that I know in the Philippines, they're very much against it. Although it's gonna be easy for the client, or for the people, who who needs voices. It's gonna be very easy for them to do. It's gonna be convenient. And honestly, if I wasn't, if this wasn't my career, I'd prefer that, because I wouldn't want to record what do you call this, an hour, or an hour of an audiobook, sweating inside my home studio, and just editing that over and over again, when an AI could do it for me, right? With my voice. But the thing
True.
is, I'm gonna lose the job. I'm
Exactly.
gonna
Yeah,
Yeah.
speaking of
So
AI generated stuff, it has been tried and tested, and in YouTube, there's like
Mhm.
something that popped up recently, like movie recaps or movie summary videos.
Oh
It
yeah.
became a thing, and one channel who had 100,000 views used AI generated voice to do the voiceover for the script. And
Hmm.
to be honest, it's just kind of off for me, and it's just
Yeah.
cheese because people stay, of course, for the summary video, but the voice the voiceover using AI generated thing in
Hmm.
general, AI generated voice reading some script, it's kind
Mm.
of, it doesn't really impact you that much. But
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know why people still like
Yeah, because the
for
thing is,
that.
again, it's very convenient. And a lot of YouTube, so far in the Philippines, um, a lot of people who, because what do you call this? YouTubers who have a good channel, like a good standing, or basically they have a big channel, they have the
Mhm.
means to pay. But then people who don't have the means to pay, if it's easier for them to get those AI or those, TikTok voices, the TikTok voices that you hear, if it's gonna be easier for them, then I guess it's it benefits them. So yeah, that's the sad part. So it's very hard, but at the same time, if that's what's going to happen, then I guess voice actors will have, or us would have to think of ways how to keep up. But I hope not. I hope that day doesn't come, because
I
there are a
mean,
lot. Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, not gonna lie, I don't think that AI would completely take over voice acting in general. Because,
Hmm.
for example, if that's the case, then everything will be AI generated. For example,
Yeah.
movies will be AI generated, videos will be AI generated, and some even like, actually there are posts in Twitter that are
Mhm.
like cosplayers that were AI generated.
Yeah,
Like,
there are. There are.
yeah.
Even
And
I'm a fan of K-pop, and there's this group. It's called Espa. Like they're a four, if I'm right, they're a four-member girl
Spakul.
group. No, but they're a four-member girl group, and then there's the company also created a counterpart of them virtually. So technically there is an existing, they're basically eight members, or I mean eight people, but they're a representation of each other. But anyway, basically there's a person existing online that is the same as you. And yeah, I do agree with that too, that I don't think that it would completely replace human voices. But we never know. We'll never know. That's the thing. I guess it's gonna be hard, how you said earlier, when it comes to emotions, because there's this not really stereotype, but I guess a common notion that voiceovers are basically just either anime voices or commercials. But there are a lot different fields. So there's in voice acting, there's dubbing, there's voice impressions, there's voiceovers, there are radio dramas, things like that. So there's different, how do you call it, categories if you're a voice actor, and not everyone can mimic or can do all of those. So yeah, like for example, me, I haven't tried dubbing yet. Dubbing is basically, if you watch anime, that's the voices of the anime. And for me, so far, that I think that's the hardest, because I do radio drama. So I do dramas for a local radio station. So but basically it's drama, right? So I could
Mhm.
use ad libs and stuff like that, and I could put my own interpretation of the character, and just if they like it, then that's it. But then when it comes to dubbing, everything, it starts with the script. Starts with, for example, let's have a Japanese anime. So there is a trans, I don't know how you properly call it, but they're the ones who, for example, it's in Japanese, a Japanese person will have to type the whole script. So after typing that script is forwarded to a translator. The translator forwards it to an English transcriber whatsoever, and then they time it. They even, because I tried one, but not for an anime. It's just for an English movie. So I wrote the script. I transcribed what was in the movie, And then after that, a Filipino writer is the one to translate that in certain sentences and words that could fit or are almost the same with the what do you call this, with the English script. So even the we call it reacts. So like you put down in the script if the person will stand up, the sound of sitting down, the sound of sighing, the sound of feet clacking, something like that. You put that, and then that's what, after translating that into whatever language it needs to be, it will now be recorded by the artist, which is the dubber, the dubbing artist, and it takes a very long time because it's very strict. Dubbing is very strict. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of hard, not gonna lie, to dub because you have
yeah.
to. It's kind of like acting, but in your own language, and you have there are like the dubbing is like
Mm.
acting what is going on in the scene, right?
Yeah, and
So
you're
you
very
have to,
restricted. Yeah.
yeah, you have to replicate what the actor is trying to portray, or how the intonation of the speech pattern, or rather the speech patterns of the actor, the like the feelings or the emotions that the actor is portraying, and
Yeah,
that's what separates
it's
a
the
good
hard
dub.
part.
Yeah, that's what separates a good dub to like a poorly made
A
dub.
bad one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, a bad one. The way that you actually like how do you call that?
Do it,
Mimic?
perform it.
Perform
Yeah.
it? Mimic?
If
Or
you just, yeah, you simply know, like when you watch a series or a movie, that voice does not seem to fit the character. Like, why does
exactly.
that person sound like that? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
Like
yeah.
not gonna lie, one of the in my opinion, one of the best dubs ever is like like the animes have been ported out to the Western audiences, and
Mm-hmm.
the one of the most memorable ones were, I guess, Dragon Ball Z, or the Dragon Ball series
Mm,
in
yeah.
general, because it's
Yeah.
so memorable for people, like the voice of like Goku and other people. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's they go way back. Those voice actors go way back, and the crazy part is, even if, like, they're older people, they can sound like kids. So like a lot of
True.
it still amazes me. Like, for example, I have this one friend who, he's a guy, but then naturally the voice, her, how do I think she identifies with the she, so yeah, I'll call her her instead. So her voice is basically a woman's voice from birth. It's natural. It's caused by
Ooh.
yeah, it's caused by, what they call this, it's caused by this thing called, I'm not sure, laryngitis, but it's basically a medical condition that that person has, that she has. So
Okay.
even if biologically the person is male, she sounds like a woman. Like, her voice
Yeah.
sounds like, how do I say it? Her voice sounds like more feminine than my voice is. So when I listen to her at times, or when we record at the same time and she's inside the booth and I'm outside and I don't know that it's her recording, I ask people still, who is the one recording? And then they say that, that person is that person. So, oh my god, yeah, I forgot. And the part is, it's very hard for her to sound like a male, even though biologically he is a male. So, which is
Yeah.
cool, and at the same time, I don't know, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like, if you want to experience yourself one of the most amazing like feats of human voice, there's a singer called
Mm.
Dimash Kurubinyek or something like that. Forgive me if I butchered that voice. And that person could sing the most lowest of low notes and
Yeah.
sing whistle voice. So like, yeah, like the human voice is actually a pretty amazing tool, or
Yeah,
in of itself, it's an art. Not gonna lie, like, dude.
exactly. It is very much like an art. Because the thing is, it's one of the things that we take for granted, but then it's basically it can be everything, you know. It's the way it's
That's
the
true.
tool that you use to say things, say what you want, get what you want, whatever. But yeah, yeah.
Also, just a comment by the way, because you
Mhm.
said that previously, like you're having like, I guess you were insecure about your voice in a while back. I'm just gonna compliment like your voice fits for like a strong woman anime character, like a badass like
Thank you.
like I forgot like that do you watch a lot or do you read manga or anime and stuff like that, right?
I watch anime, but I haven't.
What anime have you watched recently?
Oh my god! Recently, I for Tokyo Ghoul or like Blood, because I'm very into old stuff. I repeat my anime.
Ooh.
So
What kind
when I
of
say
anime do
old
you
stuff,
watch?
I say Detective Conan.
Oh, Detective Conan. Yeah,
It's the
it's
most
a
like
classic.
a lot of people like say why do I watch that, but I like watching it anyway. So yeah, it,
That's true. I
that's I
guess
think.
I
Mhm.
guess your voice kind of fits like Bulma, like in Dragon Ball Z, like that.
Mm, I
That I mean,
see.
or no, the Goku's wife,
Yeah. Yeah, I think because
forgot her.
my voice is
Chi
much.
Chi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my voice is
Bro.
like deeper on the deeper end, not much of the
Yeah,
higher.
you sound like a boss lady. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people when they hear me speak, they're like, "Are you in your like 29 or 28 or 28,
Yeah.
29?" I'm not. I'm very
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah,
Dude.
all. Mhm.
Do you know that the train anime? Train anime,
No,
like
no,
the zombie. Forgot about it. Shit.
no, I
But
haven't. I haven't. Oh, what is it? The Filipino one?
no. There we go. Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress. Do you know that?
No, I'm not familiar.
Oh, that's sad. Never mind.
Yeah, but later maybe, I'm trying
Okay.
to catch up on my anime and my I have so much to catch up on. There's just not much time, but yeah. But yeah, I think the closest thing that I have ever experienced like for animes, I mean no. How am I gonna say it? For animated stuff, it's basically an audition for games. So I tried, but then, it didn't work. But yeah, that's life. But yeah, sorry.
Sorry. I was just I posted something in like general chat. So
Mhm.
the if I imagine a character that's playing your voice, that's the character. Oh my god.
Thank you. Wow, okay. Yeah, okay. A lot of people, it's funny because like the first time oh wait, thank you to Korean rice farmer. Thank you. But the first time the mentor or the people heard me, I mean the group of people heard me like my voice, my speaking voice.
Yeah.
They said that I looked like a very tall, boss like woman. When
Yeah.
in reality, I'm a small piece of plant at the
Really?
side.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm very small, but yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. The voice is a different kind of thing. Cause see, like people get, you get another image just from your voice alone. And when,
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. But the thing is, that's the amazing part. You'll never know what others might think of you just through your voice. So yeah. What
It's actually
else?
so flexible, not gonna lie. Like, holy
Yeah,
shit. That's why I
yeah.
have massive respect for voice actors like in like anime or cartoons, since cartoons are one of the most
Hmm.
accessible like pieces of media. For example,
Yeah.
like one of the most memorable cartoon or one of the best cartoons there is like, in my opinion, Avatar: Legend of Aang or
Mhm.
Avatar: The Last Airbender. And like the process of like making that the voice like suit
Mhm.
the scene of those cartoons in general. Like it's kind of
Yeah.
amazing, right? Like
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah. And the thing is, like, the work of a voice actor does not stop in the studio. So it goes beyond that. You take care of your voice. Or sometimes you do things to sound like I'm not sure how it is, but I think Transformers, Optimus Prime, the voice actor of that,
Oh,
he
yeah.
uses this certain technique that is actually very um how do I say it? It's not healthy for the
Really?
throat. But yeah, yeah, yeah. The grunting and the growling, stuff like that. It's generally not healthy for you to do that. Um yeah, yeah, yeah. That's not very, advisable to do. But then because the character calls for it, then that person has to do that. And
Damn.
it's just much like singing, when singers take care of their voice, you don't eat stuff, you don't, you quit things. So yeah, that's like the work that goes beyond the studio stuff. It goes beyond reading scripts, interpreting scripts, listening to the director. Work comes in way before work does, if that makes sense. Because for example, me, I have been drinking coffee since I was 8 years old, and that is the reason why I'm not tall.
Bro.
I blame coffee for
I'm
that.
pretty
But
sure that's their anyways, go ahead.
yeah, that's not very healthy. But yeah, basically, I'm very much addicted to coffee. But then since I started to, I started this whole thing with voice acting, I had to be serious about it, and I had to like quit. But I'm not saying that I've quit it like permanently because I can't, But I think I went for like 3 months already without coffee because I have been constantly inside the studio.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, and the
What does
thing is,
coffee affect your voice, by the way?
it's different actually. For other people, they are able to do well with coffee, but for me, it dehydrates my throat because it's caffeine.
Oh,
Yeah,
really? I didn't know
milk
that.
too. Yeah, milk too. Because milk, it how do I say this? It produces, I don't know, it produces saliva, if that's how you call it. But when you
Let's
when
just
you
say that
record,
milk. Let's just say milk actually irritates your like throat or something like that.
yeah, and you're basically your mouth, like that's the reason why I can't speak properly right now. Because earlier I had my honey stars with milk. So I had my, yeah, and I
Is it
forgot that's. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
is it honey like good for like throat or
Yeah.
voice or something?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's very good. Honey is good for the throat. My magic potion for when I have projects or basically I'm sick, which is I am right now. It's ginger, honey, and lemon. Like sometimes I drink that
Ooh.
like pure shot. Sometimes I do it with like a glass of hot water. But yeah, that's how I those are some of the things that I basically eat my sweets on the weekend and like in person, like
Oh,
personally, I'm a person who eats sweets a lot. And by that I
right.
mean I eat, yogurt, I eat my sweet fruits. I basically
Oh,
like sweet stuff. But I have to like stop, I have to like distance myself from those.
yeah. Oh,
Even yogurt, basically dairy stuff, yeah. Uh, but that's the price you have to pay if you really want to like improve your craft.
yeah. That's true. That's
Like,
true. That's true.
and what else? Struggles aside from like food and um the time that you have, like I said earlier, a lot of voice actors, some of them I'm not sure actually, some of them I think have companies or agents that book them projects, but then a lot are freelancers, which means that we have to book our projects on our own, and that's not an easy feat to do because the voice industry is so big yet so small, if that makes sense. You basically know each other or at least you know someone that knows the other person, but then it's a small world. But then you go out, you see those call for auditions or clients calling for talents, and you see the same people and more people auditioning for that thing. Basically, when you
Bro.
post, posting like in this certain group. Let's say a client, oh, for example, Twitch is looking for a voice actor, female, blah 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 blah. In less than like 1 minute, you'll see everyone saying that I sent you an email, sent you an email, I PM'd you, something like that. So it's like everyone is out there trying to, to book projects. So it's a tough
It's
competition.
highly competitive. Yeah.
Very, very, very. It's highly competitive. Yeah. So that's another thing. You're basically on your own. Like Taylor Swift said, you're on your own, kid. So yeah,
Uh,
and not of course on the client side, things have to be perfect. Things have to be good. So chances are they're going to book people who are already experienced or who at least sound like they do have experience. So it's
true.
for the younger ones, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be tough. Yeah.
Oh,
And
so there's
then
like certain biases of for from clients to hire people who want the job, basically.
yeah, yeah. I guess for me, honestly, personally, I don't see it as a bias. It's just that clients have to, because I've been at least in my college years. Oh, I'm still in my college years, but yeah, um, clients. I've been on the side of the client too, and I think yeah that there's a certain thing that they need, and if there's a better person who can do it in a very short span of time, who can deliver well, as early as possible, that's what they prefer, and I don't blame
Understandable.
that. Yeah, but then then again, the thing is just there's just so much competition, and the thing is you just hope and pray that each and every competition that there is will be happy for you and not like be someone who's talking smack about you. So yeah.
True. Also, I was interested in knowing who are your, let's just say, top five or top three voice actors that you look up to or amazed by their performances.
Oh,
Could be in
okay.
English, Japanese, or even Filipino
Oh,
voice
yeah.
actor.
The thing is, that's my on my end the bad part. I don't know much internationally. I'm very much because I'm currently working with a local on the local scenes in the local scene.
Uh-huh.
So the only thing I'm familiar of are voice actors in the Philippines. But of course we have Inka Magnaya, if that's right. If you've heard her, she is what was her project? She's the voice, I think, one of the voices of Spotify. She's basically everywhere. I don't know, for some reason, maybe just because I'm her fan. um she's in a lot of commercials in the Philippines and even the voice of Philippine Airlines. That's how you describe her. Yeah, she's the voice of
Ooh.
Philippine Airlines. The thing is, what's funny is that the year before, I think 2020, yeah, I wasn't interested again. I said in voice acting, but then I saw her on TikTok, and then I followed her, and then my brother got addicted to her. So I had the sort of an idea what voice acting was because of her, not knowing that the year later I would be in the same, I would be doing the same thing, but I'm still far away from her. But anyway, second is, yeah, the voice of Lady's Choice, as what I said earlier, because she's in my circle. I'm not that I'm biased, but her voice is just very flexible, without it being different. How do I say it? It's still her voice. It's just that it's so flexible. She can sound young, she can sound old, she can sound like Google. She's the person you would probably see on TikTok mimicking Google. So people think she's Google, but she's not. But yeah, her, and then I forgot the whole name, but in the voice industry, he's probably known. In the Philippines rather. His name is Rob, if I'm right. But basically what he is, or the thing that makes me like his fan, even though I haven't heard a lot of his projects. There was this one time that I attended this free voiceover workshop, and he was there, and he was the one, managing it, whatever. But he had this story. I forgot for what brand, but it was a big brand in the Philippines. I think it's, if not Lazada, Shopee, I'm not sure. But yeah, there was one of the big retail e-commerce retails, stuff like that. He was basically saying that someone called him to audition for this certain thing, certain brand. And then the brand, okay, he goes to audition. The brand tells him, okay, here's the script and here is the peg. When you say a peg, like an inspiration for that script. So here's the peg. They sent him an audio file. What's funny is that that audio file is him. So basically, he's auditioning to achieve his own voice, which is very
Wait,
cool. It's like
what?
you've become the standard of clients, and the clients doesn't
Yeah.
even know that it was you in the first place, right? So it's crazy. That's why from that time, that's he's like one of the people I looked up to, and he was one of the people as I've talked to him, not really personally, but just through chat. But then he advised me on one good thing, and so yeah, he's very approachable too. So those are so far my top three. But then I guess internationally, all the voices of Dota and Mobile Legends, because I've seen the clips
Oh,
of voice actors of Dota, and my god, these are old people, but damn, they sound young. They
yeah.
yeah, exactly right. They're like, I guess in 70s, 80s. So it's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why some of the characters, like in every game, like, well, since I'm like exposed to gaming in general, like I think that voice acting in gaming is actually pretty amazing. Like,
Yeah, it's cool. It's very cool.
yeah.
Neon, yeah,
Oh,
Vanille Velasquez, yeah.
but by the way,
Mm.
speaking of voice acting, of course, like you said your own clips, right? You record your own clips. So
Mhm.
what's the setup? What's your equipment or hardware you're using
Ah. Oh,
for
okay.
voice acting recordings and shit? Yeah.
The I started My setup is basically not very voice artist type of setup. Is a
Oh,
lot of
really?
the thing is, people ask me about, wait, the thing is I don't have an audio interface. That's for one. That's one.
Mhm.
Because I'm just learning recently how to, because it's like I'm a for Filipinos you would know, but for international viewers, it's basically you're like a barbecue, and I was like dipped into a sauce that I'm very unfamiliar of. So that's how I am. Oh, I'm very much unprepared for things, but my right now my I'm using a laptop and just a keyboard, a mechanical keyboard, and my mic is an 8020. What is this? 20, not 2020, 20 something. Wait, I forgot. But it's Audio Technica. What's my mic? Wait, 80, 20. Oh, it's an 82 500X. So it's Audio Technica. And it's just in my table. And then for my room, I just, put the pseudo so and so noise something foam, but it's not really noise canceling. It's just that they lessen the echo and the bounce of the sound. Basically, I'm trying to wing my way through through projects, and so far, here's the thing: clients don't really care about what your rig is or what your stuff is, just as long as
Yeah.
you deliver. Yeah, and the thing is,
Actually,
what? Mhm,
despite what you said, like not
mhm,
having like fancy equipment or shit like that, your
yeah.
voice is actually holding on to its own. Like
Thank
it's
you.
actually good. Yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, the thing is, I remember this was not my first mic. This is around 6,000 pesos. So this was my first kind of big investment with voice acting. But the first one I got is a microphone, a condenser microphone too, that is sold by my friend. That is my friend's business. If in the Philippines, other people, I think the price range is just a little bit higher than the BMA 800. It's for During that time I bought it for 2,000. But then that made me jumpstart my career. And there was this one time that I didn't know how do I say it? I didn't know how to use my 80 to 1500X yet. I had no idea how to use the mic, so I used that um old mic, that cheap mic, and then the client liked the cheaper, the output using the cheaper microphone. So sometimes, yeah, it's really not in the equipment. It's just how you wing your way through things. But yeah, that's so. My next plan is actually, I don't know. Maybe I'll, if I get a good PC. Because the thing is, I'm like a nomad right now. Because I live in two different places, so I
Mhm.
can't really. I have to, like, be flexible with my stuff. So most of the time, I have my mic around with me. So yeah, yeah, that's it. Basically, it. I just have a pop filter that's just bought from Shopee. That's like 200 pesos. So yeah,
Yeah,
which is
so
I'm
the
not using
the,
it now. Mm-hmm.
the professionals actually use Shopee as their a pop filter from Shopee to
Yeah, yeah.
achieve their peak voice performance.
Yeah. And the thing is, I even had a mistake using, like, with the microphone. Because I didn't know about, I didn't know about my stuff. Because this microphone is a condenser one, so it picks up every single thing that there is. It's just that in Discord,
Uh,
it does not. So, but when I record my stuff, oh my god, my head breaks hell when the dogs
yeah.
bark. I could use this for in Filipino, it's called chismisan, but like for gossiping, because I can basically hear what the neighbors are fighting about with this
Oh,
microphone.
really?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, and my headphones are monitor headphones too. It's just a Samsung, I forgot, but yeah, it's a local monitor headphones, but I could basically hear everything when when I'm recording. So that's the wrong part that I did, because I heard that, you're just supposed, if you're in a home setup, it's probably okay to use like a dynamic one. There's this different type of game when it comes to microphones that I'm not very familiar with. So yeah, that's my plan later on while I'm transitioning from graduating to being someone who's fully working, is to like get a knack for this thing and improve my stuff, so that I could probably, book a lot more or do a lot more with them. So yeah.
Kind of nice. So, what are your plans now? Future plans, like what what are your fields that you are
Mm.
interested in? What fields are you interested in right now? Like,
Mhm.
are you exploring voice acting for like anime, cartoons, or
Mhm.
gaming, like gaming voice acting, or voiceover for like
Advertisement.
uh YouTube videos with educational purposes, stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, currently, because I've tried, I've had, what do you call this, voiceovers for certain small brands, and then I've had one with the shampoo commercial, but
Yeah.
not that's not, yeah, last year. And right now, I am, again, as I said earlier, I do drama for a radio station. And I'm also on my way to doing a Spotify podcast for the same station. So yeah.
Oh,
I
really?
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, exactly. That's why it's funny that, I'm doing this podcast. But anyway,
So
yeah,
you're the host or as a guest for the
I
podcast?
do, we will be hosting, and we're producing that as
Ooh.
well. So yeah. But yeah, it's a different format anyway, so it's not, it's not really a conflict or whatever when I
Yeah,
go
well,
on.
yeah,
Yeah.
it isn't there. But like, what's the theme of the podcast, by the way? Yeah,
Oh, the
it's a
the
plug
pod
right now. It's advertising right now. Go
yeah.
ahead. No.
But yeah, the podcast, I'm not allowed to, like, like, release the name yet, because we're this segment producing
Oh,
that too,
yeah,
so we're
non-disclosure
the team
agreements or
working
some
behind.
shit like
Anyway,
that.
yeah, that we basically, since I said earlier that I work on dramas on air for radio station, those stories will be aired in Spotify, as well as later on. Oh, or rather, we're on the process of recording podcasts discussing those stories. And yeah,
Ooh,
yeah. So yeah, we'll be the ones like talking about, those stories. So yeah,
nice.
Are
So
radio dramas big in the Philippines? The thing is,
um,
yeah, it is.
do you want
It
to
w-
plug your radio drama? If
oh
you want to,
oh,
yeah.
is Korean
Or
rice farmer? Are you in Korea? I'm very sorry, because I'm not sure. I'm sorry. Are you in Korea? But yeah. Anyway, yeah, in the Philippines, it's kind of a big thing. Oh, you're not. Okay, sorry. But in the Philippines, it's kind of a big thing. Uh, the reason why is that before, when televisions were not like a thing yet, or not that famous yet, those were the things that we used for reading people's stories, or yeah, radio dramas are kind of a big thing in the Philippines. And
Mhm.
yeah, that's why I'm very lucky to have the chance to work in that, on that kind of field. So that's what I've been focusing on recently. But then moving forward again, um the what do you call this, the learning never stops, and the craving for learning never stops. So I plan, after we launch this project, and everything becomes stable, I'm planning to record my audition or my reel again, either like in a proper studio or on my own. But I'm planning to record my stuff, because all of my projects before are either with a company that I cannot use the clips for, or whatsoever. Because I already tried what do you call this, recording for e-learning videos, so videos teaching kids about stuff, or teaching high schoolers about stuff. So I've already recorded that too. So after that, I plan on focusing on voiceovers, going back to voiceovers, and hopefully I want to try dubbing, because that's like the place that I haven't touched the ground on that field. Hopefully I get the chance to yeah. Actually, there's like, I have a lot of friends that are connected to dubbing studios, and they're writers, and they keep on telling me to try. But then yeah, right now the thing is, it's when you're a voice artist, yes, you're very lucky if you can bounce from one genre or one project to the other. But the thing is, for example, for me, I've been with a radio drama for a year. So during that year, I have been only going back and forth from voiceover to radio drama, most of the time radio drama. So I haven't had a chance to dub. And when I know for a fact that when I sit down in the dubbing studio with the dubbing director, I'm gonna get, my ass slapped, because dubbing is different. I'm very used to acting on impulse, or acting using different kinds of techniques that include ad libs, or uncalled for actions or reactions. And as again, I said earlier that dubbing is the total opposite of that. So that's my plan. Hopefully I get to record my voice, and get my voice or my projects to a studio, so that I could, apply for, like, how do I say it? Not really a house, like a talent that's in house, but not really in house. But yeah. So audio voice filing, rather, sorry, I forgot the term. That's how they say it. So because when voice actors do their voice filings on certain studios now have an access to that file, and then now they can tap the artist for when a client comes to them. So they can just, it's much easier for them to, basically, they're having a pool of artists. So that's what I plan to do. And dub too. Dubbing, maybe for a game, or maybe for a series, yeah. Because I've auditioned for games before, but it's fun, and at the same time it's different too. So that's what I'm trying to just basically. But I want to start with dubbing first, and the others later on. So yeah.
that's kind of wow. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of amazing. Like the process of voice acting, your journey throughout your experiences as a voice actor, and of course now it's getting late for Izzy, so we have to probably end soon. So let's just have a final quick question. If you have if you have 5 important tips for any aspiring voice artists,
Hmm.
what would they be?
Sorry, I had to sip my water. But that's the first thing. Drink water, like a lot.
Okay.
Hydrate. That's the very first thing. But yeah, kidding aside, yeah, that's the first thing. What I'm saying is, you take care of your voice. If you know that that's what you want, make the changes for it. Like, and if there are opportunities, especially this is the thing though. It's a mistake, but at the same time, it's a kind of like how do I say it? Like a magic trick too. When you see an opportunity, even if you're just a beginner, try to go for it even if it's small. Because you'll never know what comes knocking afterwards. And at least if there is nothing or there's no one who will knock on the door after those small projects, at least you now have an idea that, oh, I can go bigger. Or there's something more to look forward to. So yeah, first is, hydrate, take care of your voice, and second is just grab every opportunity that there is when it comes to career options, and at the same time, um to learn, because artists, I don't think artists really stop learning. You have to learn a lot. Learn on the third is learn to learn, and learn to undo learning, if that makes sense. Because there at certain points in a voice artist's life, some techniques don't fit that person anymore. So what I've learned last year might not be the same technique that's fit for me this year. Maybe because my voice went a little deeper, or maybe because I've transitioned from radio drama to voiceovers. So be very flexible when it comes to learning. So learn to learn and learn to undo learning. Learn to like quit learning, or quit with one stuff. And then fourth, enjoy it. Like there's this thing, pay is not always big when it comes to this, but it is an industry that is very deserving of a big pay, but then not all of the time you get that. But what helps you go through with that small pay is actually you enjoying or liking what you're doing. So if you're very passionate about it, sorry, my voice is cracking. I'm turning to a guy now. No, I'm kidding.
No,
But
it's fine.
that's the thing. When I do stuff, like after midnight, I turn into a guy. My voice goes
Bro.
deeper. Anyway, yeah. But yeah, and then fifth, surround yourself with good people. That's very important. And sure. Oh, it's six na pala, but it's six tips. But
It's
basically,
fine. Any tips, all the
yeah,
tips you could provide, bro.
surround
It will help
yourself with
people.
with good people, with good friends outside the creative field and inside the voice industry as well. Know who to trust, when to trust, because not everyone, again, as I say, everyone is a competition, but then some competitors are good, or are sport, are nice, they're good, they know when to give up the fight, they know when to clap for you, but not everyone is like that. Some are out there trying to prey on you, but and yeah, trust yourself. That's it, basically. That's trust yourself. If there's anyone that you would surely, or you would have to trust 100%, is yourself. And that trust, would build your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your confidence in the decisions and actions you make in terms of your career. But yeah, those are the things. It's very general, because honestly, the do's, the don'ts, the techniques, you can all learn that from the internet, which I don't do. But I try to learn it from my mentors. But yeah, you learn it from the internet, practice it. That's the thing. Voice acting is something that you practice. When you practice voice acting, you say things, you voice out things. You don't practice inside your head, because that's very different. But yeah, those are the things that that I think so far, because again, I'm still learning my way through things too. So far, those
Yeah.
are the things that I could share. So yeah.
Oh, that's actually kind of heartwarming and inspiring. Not gonna lie. So, of course, thank you for introducing to us the colorful world of voice acting, and of course, the power and journey of your voice. So,
Thank you.
Do you want to promote anything else before we end the podcast?
Okay. Um, internationally, there's nothing that I could that I could really like promote except for myself. If you know,
Yeah. Uh,
um,
your
yeah,
socials or at least whatever want you plug in, we could link it down. The YouTube
yeah,
channel, yeah, in the YouTube video, it will be linked down. So yeah.
yeah, yeah, nothing yet. I don't have yet, but I guess if you're Filipino or if you're, I'm gonna be on Spotify soon. We're gonna be on Spotify soon with a friend of mine with my AP. Anyway, yeah, and if you're in
Also,
the
if you guys are
Philippines,
looking for a voice act
yes,
artist, yeah,
I'm begging you. No,
easy.
yeah.
It's
Uh,
easy
I
for your
can I can
projects.
I can
Yeah.
do a much proper voice or much proper how do I say this? Like yeah, a much better output. It's just that right now it's late and it's the weekend, so I cut myself some slack and ate some sweets before
Yeah, no problem.
before
No
speaking. So yeah.
problem.
But yeah, I guess I'll just link my Instagram later on if you guys,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
want
no
to.
problem.
But yeah.
So I
And thank you
guess
to
that's it.
Korean Rex Farmer.
A
Thank you.
Korean first man. Yeah. Aw. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you again for being here, and also thank you for the audience to listening to the podcast. So like usual, follow React7 on Twitch. That's React underscore 7 on his Twitch channel, and stay tuned for more of his content. And for the YouTube viewers out there, like, comment down your thoughts in the comment section down below, and of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's the Magmatic Sage. That is all. Thank you. Good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Have a good night.